Kemayo. We are expecting probably a new person. Honorable Wanyonyi, do you think these new brooms will sweep cleaner this time around?
I think, as we always say, change is always good, and people always expect better things from change. But as long as we are only changing the figureheads and we are not changing the system, we shall still go back to the same problem. The problem we are having in our security sector is we started reforms in the sector, and these reforms have stalled because individuals who worked in those places, they should have processed, they should have made reforms move forward. But they halted the reforms, some of them trying to reverse. In fact, the Inspector Kimayo, I think, put in a reverse gear instead of putting the forward gear. And all along, he has been squibbling on how to make himself more powerful than delivering services to the people. And that is one of the things that unless we have reform-minded people enter those sectors. And number two is that we must also know that security is a collective responsibility. A collective responsibility meaning that the police cannot work on their own. They must involve the wananchi, that we can provide information to them. And sometimes people fear to provide information to the police because the police do not use that information properly. For example, you go and confidentially give them information about a criminal activity happening in your neighborhood. And instead of using that information to go and unravel that, what is happening there, they go there and blow your name all over the place. You are the informer, and then they put you at the risk.
At risk.
So the wananchi, this thing called community policing, they have shied away from that because they don't trust the police. And you know, once you create that suspicion that I don't trust the police, then it becomes very difficult for them even to get information, even when I know that there's a criminal activities happening in my neighborhood. So we must have a collective responsibility. We must have trust. We must, what the president has been preaching, saying that security is you and me. It is just means, in other words, is that we have a collective responsibility to own our own country. And let's say the police, we are paying you to do this. But when we provide you with information, use it properly and execute it. And only intelligent information can lead to arrest of criminals, can lead to go and ambush these terror attacks. And we know them. They are entering our country, not through the air, not through underground, but through somewhere.
Through the borders, yes. Actually, through the borders. And I know yesterday the Coalition for Reform and Democracy, of course, through Honorable Wetangula Moses, also Kalonzo Musyoka, and the party leader ODM, Raila Odinga, they talked about learning lessons from our neighbors, because the question of Somalia rather, and having Somalis in countries is not unique to Kenya. It's happening in Ethiopia. But what intrigues me, even from this conversation, is that you are leaders, the two of you, and this information, you know it. You know where the loopholes are. I'm tempted to ask, does the president know that this is the problem? Is he aware that these are the loopholes? Is he rightfully advised? Is he given proper briefs, right? Is the Security Council sleeping on its job? What exactly is the main issue? Because now you've said that the problem is with a lot of compromise. How do we move forward as a nation? Senator Njoroge.
I think, to be frank enough, I think the briefing that the president receives on a day-to-day basis are not correct.
It's not accurate at all.
It's not accurate at all. Let us be very sincere. And I think it's time now also the president changes tacts as far as the security information is concerned. Because I think the people surrounding the president those who really matters as far as the security is concerned, they're not telling him the truth. They have not been telling him the truth. Because take it for like the incident, the last incident which happened in Mandera. We are getting it very clearly that those people at the quarry were really making calls to security personnel. But you know what? They never responded. Members of the public were making calls to the security.
No response.
No response.
It is alleged the same happened in Kapedo. People are making calls and no response.
Yeah, the question is, Kimayo was in Nairobi. Lelenku was in Nairobi. But remember, there is someone who is being paid in Mandela to take care or to give security to the citizens within that, to the community within that area.
There's a county commission on the ground.
There's a county commission on the ground. There is a commander who really is in charge of the police within that locality. We have the OCS and we have all that. Who have the weapons, actually the guns and all that to fight. And they never responded. The question is, how do you put a blame to the top person when someone there who should respond immediately is not working
about it?
We sack Lelenku, we let Kimayo go, and we say things are going to be okay. We are lying.
We are lying. And in fact, at that note, if you look at the pattern, there was a whole debate about extrajudicial killings, and people really accused Hussein Ali. He went.
Yeah.
Right? Itere came in.
Yeah.
The problem still, we have a problem with security.
Yeah.
Itere went. Kemayo came in. We have a problem with security. Kemayo is gone. All right? Even with the ministers, the same pattern has been happening from Michuki to Mulungaru to this other guy, George Saitoti, the late. And now we are having Olelenku. Olelenku is gone. We have in Kaiseri. We're hoping in Kaiseri the broom will sweep cleaner. That will have to be seen. But I'd like to pose this question specifically to you, Honorable Wanyonyi. The ODM party and generally called coalition has had a certain stand when it comes to security matters. And it could be interpreted that by appointing Kaiseri, the president is extending a branch to the Orange Democratic Movement and actually inviting you to the table as stakeholders. One, do we expect to see a change of heart or mind as far as the stand on ODM and security is concerned? And number two, as a party, do you feel and believe Kaiseri will deliver on this job?
Let me tell you this. You know, in developed countries, for example, in the UK, the Prime Minister of UK is much more concerned about what happens in the opposition than what is in the government. Because when the opposition says something, he will invite the leader of opposition to sit with him and share information and see what is right. And you remember even at the Second World War, when the UK was, Churchill was leading the UK to the war, he had to form the council of, the war council, and that included opposition leaders. It just means that in our country, we must trust each other, those in the government and those in the opposition. That when I say this is happening, it's for the government to call me and ask, can you share this information with us? And then maybe we can find a way, a common solution for it. But if I say something and you dismiss me, then I'll stay with that information and I do not disseminate that information to you. And you'll end up saying like, we are not helping and we are not doing this. What is happening in this country is that lack a suspicion between government and opposition. They think opposition are just there to make noise. They think that we are just there to actually make noise and not offer solutions. That's not our concern. Our concern is that we raise a red flag, you should call us and listen. The Americans said that before Westgate, they had given information to our people, to our security sector. The UK said the same thing, and yet nothing happened. If we are not using this information, intelligence information, then we shall end up always being hit, and then we just remain to go and collect bodies. we just go there and start crying. We just go there and do. So what we are saying in the opposition that the president has appointed one of our own, but Ngaizere is a Kenyan citizen. The president has got the right, he can appoint anybody from any place, from anywhere, as long as that person qualifies the description that is given by the Constitution. So for that, doing that is a good thing, but he should also trust what information is coming from the opposition so that they can use it to collectively fight this terror. Terror is hitting, is not even discriminating anybody.
Anybody
on
can
the
fall
way.
victim to
Yes.
it. And I'd like to come to you, Senator Njoroge, on the same note, and kindly, as you're giving your response to it, when it comes to the docket of Inspector General, what kind of a person should occupy that docket?
Going slightly back to what Wanyonyi, before I answer that one.
Yes.
What Honorable Wanyonyi has said. I think the matter of security, this is all inclusive, should be all inclusive. Because remember, like what is happening in Mandera, if you see the large number of people who really were killed for the last massacre, the 36, you get a quite good number of people from Nyeri. That is a Jubilee zone. So you can just imagine. So it is affecting all of us. And I would say this without any contradiction. If working with the opposition, Kenya will get peace. I think it's the right time the president works with the people he really feels can really help him bring back security in its normality. Because with the people surrounding him, and I ask the people surrounding the president to give us Kenyans a break. This is the right time now the president gets the right information so that he can really act. We know our president is very innocent man, who I think is too innocent that he doesn't even feel like anybody would mislead him in any way. And it's my feeling that this is costing us a lot because it is costing lives of our Kenyans. And I think the advisors, either political or the security advisors, should really let the president stretch his hands and get to reach other people who can really help him.
Can deliver on the job.
Deliver on the job. And
yes.
then again for the Kimayo, for the IG.
For the IG.
For the IG position.
Very quickly, yes.
I think it would be very unfortunate for the president to look at it just because Kimayo was more connected to URP, to stretch his hand and go to URP, get someone just to please the people from URP. He needs to get a qualified person without caring where he comes from, but someone who can really perform rather than just reaching to people who can really, whereby he would feel secured in terms of politics. Because what Kenyans need is someone who can really deliver.
Can he reach out to formers like Ali, for example? Can he?
Yeah, he can reach to any Kenyan who is qualified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Honorable Wanyonyi, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming through. Senator Njoroge, asante sana for coming through. Yeah. We've had a conversation centered around disability and also security, and a lot has come from our discussion this morning. Remember, usalama unaanza na wewe, usalama unaanza na mimi. We are all stakeholders in the fight against insecurity in this country. My name is Samuel Njoroge. On behalf of Mbeki and Martin, thank you so much, and the wonderful crew behind this production. God bless you all. We've had our sign language interpreter. We also give our thanks to him. Thank you so much for your company and your time. God bless you all. See you tomorrow, same place, same time.